So once you've been with someone for 12 years and then you get married after 8 years through your relationship, the natural thing is you want to start a family. That is if you want children. And in our case, we want children. So we got married in 2016 and we were so happy to start life and build our own family. We didn't try making babies immediately because our businesses were at the very early stages and we wanted to, sort a few things out and then we start. So 2 years into marriage, that's when I was like, gosh, we really need to do this. So we started trying to have babies. I'm even shy to say this. I didn't know my cycle. I didn't even know what ovulation was all about. Yes, I'm so embarrassed. And I was 28 years old, yes. So I had to learn about my cycle, like download an app to know when I'm ovulating and all of that. And at the time, Farouk and I, we used to stay apart because he works at far north. We have a farm there, so he goes up there and all of that. So when we saw the gynae and all of that, they said, no, Farouk has to stay around with me for at least 3 months if you're trying and we are serious about it. Because what it was more like a 1 month in, 1 month out. So he comes and then he goes. And they said that was not good for us and that we'll have to try maybe half a year before we will be successful, because both of us were fine and we could make healthy babies. So Farouk came down and 2 months, we hit the jackpot, we got pregnant. And it was the most, I don't even know how to explain the feeling that comes to getting pregnant if you really want it. So it was something that we were so ecstatic about. We couldn't wait to share the news with our friends. But unfortunately, right after 6 weeks, we lost the baby. So I had a miscarriage. And I always thought this Nigerian movie that people slip or fall from the staircase and then they start bleeding was like some dramatic, exaggerated scene. But that was what happened in my case. So I slipped in the bathroom flat on my hip, and an hour or two later, the unexpected happened. It was I need to gather. Look, I don't wish that on anybody. But I'm more of a let go kind of person. I remember that night I was supposed to go for an awards night. And I lost interest in the whole awards show. I didn't want to go. But I was like, it's happened. What can I really do about it? So I told Farouk, I want us to go. And he said, if I really want us to go, fine, let's go. So at this awards night, I actually took an award home, thank God. And I was sitting right across a pregnant woman. That was torture. I'm sure many women who have gone through this, especially if you want a pregnancy so bad, it's like, what do you want so bad? You keep seeing them all around you. I don't know if you've experienced that before. And right across the table, this was my pregnant friend right there. But I had told them what had happened, and they were so empathetic, and they really, really were there for me. They were very supportive, but it was so like, that feeling. Those who know, they know. So fast forward, they told us not to try again for another 4 weeks or so, because I hear after a miscarriage you don't have to try anything funny, because probably your next pregnancy might also be a miscarriage. So you only try 6 weeks after. 6 weeks we tried and boom, we were pregnant again. I was like, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Like, this is it for me. I was like, whoa, God really fixed this really fast. And I was excited all over again. Go back to my mojo and like, Farouk, everyone, the family. This pregnancy was a bit different. I said 7 weeks, when we got the heartbeat and all of that, we all kind of felt we felt some oddness about the heartbeat. We have never heard anything like that before, but we felt it was so loud. And we said, I'll be carrying 2. But in the womb, it was 1 baby. So obviously, we don't know what we are thinking about. We don't know what we might have heard, and that's what it is. So it was 1 baby. And we were happy with that anyway. because we don't have any. So one Charlie, that's it. Um, about the 8th week, I started feeling so much pain from my waist down in the middle of the night when I want to use the bathroom. Like I feel as if I can't feel my legs from the waist down. So I have to, try to gather myself to be able to make a step. So I'll sit by the bedside and then try and take baby steps. 10 minutes later, and then go to the bathroom. It was so painful. So we reported that, of course, to our gynae that this is what we're experiencing. So it's off, because we don't know if this is how it's supposed to go. And they said it's off, and then they prescribed painkillers. These were serious doses of painkillers for us. So I took that painkiller back to back. My 8th, 9th week, I still go back and complain about pain. So I was going in and out week after week. And normally you can even go see your gynae month after month. But in my case, I was going every other week because the pain was excruciating, nothing I've ever experienced before. So one of the checkups, I remember mentioning to my gynae that I feel something is wrong. Could there be a baby somewhere else? And then he said, it's impossible. There is no baby anywhere because the baby's in the womb. And clearly we can all see it through the ultrasound that the baby's in the womb. So there's no baby elsewhere. I didn't know anything about even ectopic. I didn't know anything about heterotopic. To talk of heterotopic pregnancy, I didn't know anything about either of the two. So if the doctor says that everything is fine, I should believe him. 10th week, still the pain was there. 11th week, I started, kind of coping or dealing with the pain. Women, we are immune to pain. With time, you kind of get used to the pain. I don't know how that works with women, but I got immune to the pain. I was still going about my normal activity. So I had an event that day, and that was a very close friend of mine, and I was doing the catering. Everything was done by my team, but later on in the day, I told my mom that I want to swing by the event ground just to see how it's going and just to wave at my friend across the room just so that she sees that I made it. I showed up for her wedding. So we did that. Everything was going according to plan. It was fun. I remember going to her at the stage. We had a dance, me and the bride. It was all good. Just when I was walking back to my seat and I felt this sharp pain down my abdomen, and I was like, no, this is nothing I've ever experienced before. It was like a very sharp pain, like someone was literally cutting through my abdomen. So I just shouted my mom across the room that, oh, what ya, like, let's go. So we sat in the car, and I couldn't sit on my bum. It felt like there were needles on the seats. I just couldn't sit on my bum. It was so painful. My mom said, no, we need to go to the hospital. We don't have to go home. My mom insisted. So we drove straight to my hospital. Look, within an hour, I was like a vegetable. I couldn't walk. I was paralyzed from my waist down. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't move around. Before I knew, I was peeing and pooing and peeing at the same time on me. Someone that went out to a wedding by herself, walking. I drove to the wedding with my mom. And in that brief moment, things just changed. And I couldn't even drive. I couldn't even sit on my bum to the hospital, and getting to the hospital now, I couldn't walk. What broke my heart was Ghana healthcare. There's something about the system that I really don't like. Even in that state, they demanded 5,000 Ghana deposit before they take care of me. Yes, before they take my vitals. This folk could clearly see that this girl was hopeless. What was going on was something that any normal person would not look at me and treat me in that manner, asking me for money before taking care of me in a hospital. No one would do that. And that was 5,000. We didn't have 5,000 on us. And I remember, I don't know, it was, thank God that it just came to me that I had my ATM card in the gloves compartment. So then I told my mom to go get it. When they brought it, it took me close to 10 minutes just to remember my PIN. That's how much I was in pain. I was like, I had lost control of all my, Now I had to even remember my PIN. That was the most painful part in all of this at the hospital. Now, I remember my pain, they were able to debit my account of 5,000 Ghana cedis, and then they gave me a bed. When they gave me a bed, they all realized that this is not a bed issue. They had to take me straight to the theater and then just cut me open to see what is happening, because now they don't understand that I've had sudden diarrhea and pain all at the same time. Like, I cannot even control it. And suddenly I just asked everyone, is light out here? And they were like, no, the lights are on. My eyes were open, but all I could see was darkness, total darkness. I had blacked out. All I remember hearing on the theater bed was someone trying to take off my chain or something like that. And that was it. 24 hours later, I was on a recovery bed at the ICU, and they told me what had happened. They had to explain what had happened to me. Even the way and manner in which they explained the thing to me, I think was so wrong, because this has to do with a whole lot of counseling. You just don't come and break the news in that way, in the manner in which they did. And it wasn't, the timing to me was not even right, because it was just when I had regained, like I was recovering. I should say I had just woken up from a long sleep. I just didn't know what was happening around me. And then they just had to break the news down to me that this is what happened. You had lost 3 liters of blood, 3.0 liters of blood. If you don't know what 3 liters is, the voltage size 1.5 liter, the big one is 1.5, so 2 of that. So when they cut me open, the blood just gushed out. I was like, okay. And they were like, you had one baby all along growing in your tube. So this is it. All along, Farouk and I were saying that we felt something was somewhere, and you guys wouldn't listen. And the doctor even questioned us that, are we blind? Can't we see that there is a baby in the womb? How rude. The negligence on their part, I don't even want to go in there. But thank God I'm here today to share my story. So they told me about that, and then they were like, thank God the baby in the womb is fine. But they don't know how come the baby is fine, because with the trauma I've been through, something should have happened to the baby. So they are giving me 3 days, then they'll check on the baby again. So 3 days later, they checked on the baby, and then we had lost a heartbeat at 12 weeks. That broke my heart, because I was like, it's okay to even deal with what had happened, but for this other one that I was holding on to, and this had happened, they had to take me through the DNC. That was what really hurt me the most. And going through that, sometimes you question God, because I remember one of my friends came to me at the hospital, the number of signature patients, and I was like, Nanama, I don't know why this is happening to me, because I have never even aborted a baby before, never in my life. I had to ask Nanama, what did I do wrong? Because I kept myself, like, I didn't get pregnant out of wedlock. I got married before trying to make babies. I never aborted a baby before. As at the age of 25, when I knew that I love children, I started doing charity stuff for children every 27, and it's something I've been doing annually for the love of children, for kids in deprived communities and in orphans. At 25, I was already a godmother to a kid. So like, I love children. Someone had named me after their kid. Anything about kids is like, it really gets my heart beating really fast. I love children. So what did I do wrong? It got me to question my faith, question all that I thought I was doing right, and why is God doing this to me? You will get bitter when that happens to you. It's a very, very painful situation. I just thank God for strength. I thank God for making me able to go through this and actually growing me through it, because what it has done for me is that it's actually made me stronger in God, and it kind of came to test my faith, because all these questions I was asking myself, you ask, where is your God? Because what God says we should do, I think I was doing it. What did I go wrong? It will make you question your faith and all of that. But I thank God that it's actually the reverse. Now it's actually made me understand that if I'm alive here today, because everyone at the hospital kept saying that it's a miracle you are here. Myself, I know it's a miracle I'm here today to talk about this. Because what happened, if I play it back, if I was stuck in traffic before getting to the hospital, if I didn't go there with my own car, or I wasn't with my mom, would we have been able to get to the hospital on time? If I didn't have my Visa card on me to be able to pay that down deposit of 5,000, would they have taken care of me? I ask myself all these small questions, and then I go like, it must be God. God was there all along, and he wanted me to know that he's with me. And once I came out alive, meaning he's not done with me. Fertility and miscarriage topics, and they are very sensitive topics that not everyone can openly share their story. To be able to do this today, like to give all the full details, I feel that is healing for me, and I'm glad I'm in this space right now to be able to tell someone and anyone battling this to know that, look, I've come to even believe that with or without, I say this all the time, that my love for God and my faith in God won't change. Because if it's not for God, where would I have been? Being alive is enough. Don't be so bitter and so down and be depressed and be down there for so long just because of the one thing you are trusting God for, or the one thing you're asking God for. Sometimes we need something so badly that if that thing alone doesn't come, you tend to forget every other good thing that is happening in your life. You forget how gracious God has been unto you. You go through a whole year without visiting the hospital. Everything you do with your business, you thrive. You are a happy person. God has blessed you with amazing people in your life. Like even with the kind of spouse you have, all those are blessings. But the devil will do things to you that will tend to make you forget all the good stuff in your life. I say this with so much conviction that I know that whatever God throws, whatever God allows the devil to throw at us, we need that test for a testimony. Really and truly, I believe we need that test for a testimony. I hope this video really encouraged someone out there who is dealing with something similar as I am going through and is trusting God to come through. I just want you to know that while you're waiting, please don't lose your dance, don't lose your smile. Please keep dancing in the hallway. Please keep dancing in the hallway, okay?